Don't mind my room, it's still a little bit messy. Have you seen that I got into Gunpla? Well, I always been into Gunpla, but I'm starting to build again. See? Hey guys, it's me e.l.f.a. Welcome to another video. As you guys know by the title, I will be doing my February reading wrap-up. I have not done these in such a long time, and I did not do any reading in January. I feel like January is my transitional period from the new year where I'm just like, I don't know what to do and trying to settle and restart my hobbies. So yeah, so there's that. Mind you, I am a Kindle reader, but this is not my Kindle, this is my iPad. As you can see, this beautiful cover. It also has a mirror, so you can see how many things I stacked in order for you to see me. I transitioned to Kindle reading instead of physical books because lately I've been observing myself that whenever I read a physical book and I put it down to like do something, I will not pick it up again. So I decided to do a subscription to Kindle Unlimited, and I realized I just keep reading, which is great because I actually do miss reading a lot. So that's why I just kept it on my iPad. So yeah, another disclaimer, this is not to brag about how many books I read or how fast I read. I'm just simply sharing on the books that I have read, so in case you guys are interested in reading it, and if you have like a similar taste to me, then you're able to, you know, be confident on your next read. It's like, oh yeah, I want to read this next, because I love wrap-ups because it tells me where to go after like a book and I don't know what to read. Sometimes I tend to like, oh, I don't want to read it because I'm too scared to read. If you don't get that, don't mind me, that's my thought process. According to my Goodreads, which I would leave a link down below and we can be friends, I read about 8 books on my Goodreads, which is more than I thought I would, because literally last year I just read 1 book. I'm very proud of myself. So I read about this much pages. Mind you, these are Kindle pages, so some of the Kindle pages you can like totally skip through. So it's about this equal to less than this number, 3,597. The first book that I decided to read of the year is actually a really big series, and that is My Bad, because I've been hearing about it from my coworker. She said she loved it, and also from one of my book club members, she loved it as well. And this is the Zodiac Academy, and I started with The Awakening. So since that is book 1, I didn't realize that there are novellas in this series until like I find like a TikTok reading order. So I started with book 1, and I rated The Awakening with 5 out of 5 stars. Zodiac Academy, The Awakening, is about 2 girls, Tori and Darcy. They are twins. They are changelings. So when fays go to the human world, they are technically called changelings. They found out that they are actually the lost princesses of the Fey world called Solaria, and then so they are Solarian princesses. Meanwhile, their parents, the king and queen, has died a long time ago. So while the king and queen are dead, the celestial counselors, there are 4 of them, they took over the throne, and they are like the government that runs the whole Solaria. And they each have 1 son that will take over their place once they graduate from the Zodiac Academy to take over the throne and blah blah blah. So when they found out that there are lost princesses, it's a threat to their sons and the whole Celestian Council. So once the two girls graduated from Zodiac Academy, they have the right to claim their throne, and they don't like that. And mind you, Zodiac Academy is like a college, so they're all adults. There is a lot of spice to this, and then a lot of tensions and spice here and there, and yeah, it was actually pretty good. It kept the pages turning for me. I have to get used to the bullying aspect. If you guys don't like bullying, I don't think that this is the right book for you, because that's the way of the Fae. The next book after The Awakening is actually book 2 of the Zodiac Academy series, and that is Ruthless Fae. So it still continues on Tori and Darcy's journey. Book 2 is actually pretty good. It still kept my pages turning, and still continues the journey of Tori and Darcy trying to fight their way through Zodiac Academy. Mind you, they're still first years, so it's not like year 1, year 2 in book 2. It's still year 1. So yeah. The spice level in this is very great. I still rated this book a 5 out of 5 stars. Book 1, we follow the point of view of Darcy and Tori. Book 2 is where we get a little bit more point of view from other characters, which is great because I like seeing other people's point of view. There is some where I'm just like, I don't really like to read their point of view, but I still read it. After book 2, I actually went back to the novellas. So I read book Zodiac Academy Origins of an Academy Bully. That's technically 0.5, so way before book 1. And this is where we follow the bullies, their point of view, like about 5 years before the whole Zodiac Academy starts, and we got to see why they're like that. But I rated it a 3 out of 5 stars. Like, it's great to read, but I don't necessarily think that you need to read it. Next one is actually Zodiac Academy The Awakening, but this is told in the boys' point of view. So we get to look through the years, we get to see some Professor Lance point of view. I have my favorites on reading when it comes to their point of view, because it's technically the first book just in theirs. Yeah, I have my favorites. I don't want to say anything yet on who my favorites are until I finish the whole series. But yeah, I rated it a 3 out of 5 stars. There is a spice level to this because we do see, you know, the guy's point of view. So taking a break from the Zodiac Academy series, I went to one of the TikTok most hyped books, which is Gothikana by RuNyx. If you guys see, this is the AI cover. That's what people say. There are special I do have this book physically. It's a special edition where the pages are sprayed. But I don't know where I put it. There is an ancient castle. It is a college again. There is a main girl. She's very unusual. She grew up with like her mom, and they do a lot of like, I would say like regular like witchcraft type of stuff. Nothing like with powers or anything, just more hyped intuition. So the castle is called University of Vermore. So she got admitted into it, and we get to uncover why she is like who she is, why she doesn't know much outside in the real world. She also like hears voices in her head, so we got to see a little bit of that. Then we have this hot professor slash, he is also a student doing his doctorates, but he's mostly professor, and his name is Deverell. Vad Deverell. Oh my god, it's hard to say Vad because I'm thinking Vlad, but it's Vad. We got to see that they caught each other's eye, but there's a thing about student-teacher relationship, like all schools or whatever it is, even though they are adults, doesn't matter. But yeah, we got to see their sexual tension way in the beginning when they first got introduced to each other. The writing and the plot is a little bit too vague for me, but the only thing is, this is supposed to be like a mystery type of thing because we're uncovering the secrets of the university, but it's very sparse. You get it from the beginning, you get a little bit, and mostly the last 10% you get most of it. And I call this book 90% sex, 10% plot. So I rated this book 2 out of 5 stars. I was like gonna debate on giving it a 3, but it's just because there's some parts where I'm just like, this girl is stupid, I can't read it. But I did read it because I wanted to know the secrets of the university. And yeah, and of course there's like dead bodies, not dead bodies, but there's like a person that died, but that didn't happen until 50% of the book, because the first half is like, oh, I kind of like him. It's like, oh, get away from me, kiss kiss. I'm like, please, I just want to get through. I wanted the mystery. This is mostly spice. If you guys like mostly spice, this is a book for you. With that horde of a book, I went back to Zodiac Academy. So I went to read book 3, which is called The Reckoning. This has been sped through because I read it in about one day. I read it in one day because how horrible the previous book is. So yeah, we still continued on through Tori and Darcy's journey. This is after a big battle that happened in the end of book 2. One of the big battles. So yeah, and I really liked it because I'm starting to see more point of views of everyone that is mained in Zodiac Academy. Also, we have some romance being developed throughout the 3 books, and we got to see some softer sides in some characters, which is great. So I loved it. Then I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna speed through to my next book, which is Zodiac Academy Shadow Princess book 4. I rated this 4 out of 5 stars because I became so heartbroken at the end, but leading up to that, I have skipped some parts. Not skipped. I have dreaded some chapters in regards to point of view. I have dreaded through it. It's hard for me to read it. but that is just a personal level type of thing. And yeah, 4 out of 5 stars for that one. Also, I ended up being heartbroken that I fell into like a little depressed mode for about the rest of the night. Last book of February, which is a deal with the Elf King. And this is 5 out of 5 stars. Like, this is what I look for in regards to world building and developing a slow burn love interest. We have e.l.f.a. She lives in the human world. And then we have the Elf King. And every 100 years or so, the Elf King will go to the Elf King subjects will go to the real world to find a human queen. Usually a human queen has like a special ability, a special power in order to balance both worlds. So this is like a Hades and Persephone type of retelling. The human queen gets married to the Elf King, and she lives in the Elf Kingdom for about 6 months, or like a season. So she turns winter into like spring, and then she goes back to the human world in summer to replenish her power. So they have done this for like thousands of years. So she's like probably the 10th queen, and the Elf King has noticed that the human queen's powers has decreased a little bit more slightly. So with that, e.l.f.a. does not want to stay in the elf world. She wants to go back to the human world permanently. So her and her husband, the Elf King, band together to figure out how to break the curse, and they fell in love. And this is like a cute falling in love. I really loved it. I really adore them. Too bad that this is not a series. This is part of a series called Married to Magic, but this is the end of their love story. And the author, Elsie Kova, the second book is in regards to a different couple, and blah 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 blah. So yeah, I'm excited to read more in the Married to Magic. This has been in my TBR shelf for many years, and I loved it. I just love it. I don't know how to describe it, but I love it. That is the end of my wrap up. I am so sorry that most of these are just like this within the same series. I try not to spoil it too much because I would want you to read it, and I hope that my summaries are good enough for you guys to be interested in reading it. But yeah, if you guys want to add me on Goodreads, you can. My link is down below. I also have a Shadow Empire book club. This is like my gaming Discord, but I have a book club within it. And if you want to join that, I'll leave my Discord down below. We are currently developing on reading a book per month again. But right now we're just supporting each other on how we're reading and what we are reading. We're currently doing like book bingo and also 2025 book goals, which is like reread a book and then we just block off a square type of thing. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week for another video. I have no idea what I'm going to be filming, but you guys will know by the time next week comes. Other than that, don't forget to believe in yourself and just be you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!